I don't have to tell you that there's opposition to that development. Opposition to that development here in Canada, in the United States, and elsewhere. Those groups will spend tens of millions of dollars to advance their cause. And that cause is not in the best interests of Albertans. You can be sure of that. I recently read in the Washington paper that Al Gore intends to spend $300 million over the next 3 years on advertising to promote his agenda of fear. $300 million. Now that's what we're up against. So much of the opposition is to developing Alberta's energy resources is based on misinformation, especially if you watched the debate last night. The fact is, our oil sands account for less than 0.1% of the world's greenhouse gases. That's about 50% of the greenhouse gases produced by the city of Hong Kong. And I haven't heard anybody insisting that Hong Kong should put a moratorium on development. We're working aggressively to reduce these emissions. Our goal is to be a world leader in sustainable energy so we can protect our export markets and develop technologies we can sell to the world. And that's why we're investing $2 billion in carbon capture and storage to create the jobs of tomorrow and secure a future. Now, in light of some of the recent criticism of CCS, I should mention that this technology is well advanced. The world's largest demonstration project has been operating in Saskatchewan for almost a decade. The European Union is planning to spend, they're planning 10 to 20 CCS projects, and the US government today is considering initiatives on their own on CCS. If I could quote the University of Calgary's Dr. David Keith, one of the world's top experts in carbon capture and storage, he said, quote, "If you want a technology with no risk, you better choose no technology." Very wise man. So we know that responsible development is the key to transferring our industries for success in the 21st century. And it's not a question of energy production or concern for the environment. To maintain our export markets and quality of life, we must have both. And as I've said many times in your behalf since we've last gathered as a party, it really makes no sense to single out and unfairly target one sector of the Canadian economy, the one region that's doing well. And Alberta's prosperity is good for Canadians, particularly during uncertain times as Canada's manufacturing sector is suffering. And I've noticed that those who call for punitive energy taxes or massive wealth transfers or even a complete halt to the oil sands development never explain how they're going to pay for healthcare, for education, and for other national programs that are supported by Albertans. And even last night, you never heard anyone talk about job losses right across Canada that would result from crippling the most productive sector of the Canadian economy. We have, as the province of Alberta, become that engine of that economy. And as the world grows and demand grows for energy, it surely will. And I can tell you, and as conventional supplies are depleted, Alberta will become even more important as a source of secure, abundant energy. Because Alberta is one of the few places in the world that can increase energy output. Our oil sands represents a huge strategic reserve of energy. And I mean huge. At current rates of production, 1.3 million barrels a day, That's enough energy in the oil sands to last 366 years. Now, we know that potential must be developed responsibly, and Alberta is doing that. We have some of the strictest environmental standards in the world. We have the only, and I have to keep repeating to so many other Canadians, the only legislated limits in industrial greenhouse gases in North America, not only in Canada, but North America. And that's